Hello guys, welcome back to part 2 of my Clash Royale tier list. So let's get started. First off, we have arrows. In my opinion, arrows is one of the best spells in the game. I'd put it as the second best spell to log. But arrows is an amazing card. It counters swarmies, counters things like scar me, wall breakers, minions, minion horde, archers, firecracker. And it can get a lot of good damage on, like a lot of good area damage, and it could kill everything basically. All low hit point troops, it could kill a lot of them. So I just think it's an amazing card. It could get decent Princess Tower. It could get decent Princess Tower damage, but even if it doesn't do that much, it's still an amazing card. I put it in A tier as the highest A tier card. Baby Dragon. This is interesting because I love Baby Dragon, but it doesn't do that much damage, honestly. Like, Baby Dragon's not a card that will guarantee you a lot of damage, but it kills swarmies, it could kill archers, it could kill a lot of cards like, I'll just go off bats, it could counter Goblin Gang, could counter Electro Wizard, Dark Goblin, Ice Wizard. It also counters Magic Archer, and you can get good chip damage with it. And you do not want to let it hit on your tower because it does get actually a really good amount of damage. Even if the hit points are not that high, it could still get a huge amount of damage. So I'd put it in A tier, behind the Inferno Dragon, but above Royal Delivery. Barbarian Barrel's tough. It's like a fake log with no knockback. That's a little waste of elixir. I mean, it's decent, but I think the range is too short. So put it in C. I'd rather have minions in it. Barbarian Hut is an F. I just don't understand why it's in the game. It gets countered by Baby Dragon, and the new concept of 3 barbarians is so weird. I guess it's a little better, but I still would never use it. It's a little trash. Bandit's an underrated card. The dash does so much. It could fully counter a Hunter, fully counter a Sparky, and you can't even counter it with like a log to knock back because the dash doesn't even take damage. If you're smart with it, then you can actually get a lot of damage on the tower with the dash. And I love how you can go from like, you could dash onto like a princess or like any troop, and then you could dash right onto the tower. So it's really hard to defend in some scenarios, but you could actually counter with skeletons. Still an amazing card. I'd put it in A. I've never played with Barbarian Launcher, so I'm just going to put it in F because I don't have any experience with it. Fire Spirit's a good card. It does a lot of damage, but I think that it doesn't have a cool ability. It just has a lot of damage. Like, Heal Spirit heals, Ice Spirit freezes, Electro Spirit can go to a lot of troops. Fire Spirit, just like the normal one, that just does a lot of damage. I just think it's an average card. I'd put it ahead of minions. Goblins are honestly underrated. It's like kind of skeletons, but way better. There's 4 now. They do tons of damage. You could actually use this card in very good scenarios to counter many cards. You could kind of like Magic Archer or a mini P.E.K.K.A. A Prince. You could use this for so many cards. So I'd put it in A. No, I'd put it in top of B above Royal Giant. I honestly love the goblins. Barbarians are decent, I guess. I mean, if you use them smartly, they could be good, but they just die to Fireball. They're just an average card. I'd rather have Barbarian Barrel than Barbarians. Freeze A. There's no other card in the game that could freeze the arena, freeze an area, and if you use it wisely, then you can get so much damage, because the main point of freeze is letting your opponent not know that you have it. That's the whole point of freeze. If your opponent knows that you have freeze, then they're going to be playing differently, and I also really like that it kills Skarmy. So put it ahead of Giant Skeleton. Bats are also an awesome card. They could be used in so many different scenarios. I'm pretty sure they can counter a balloon, and they can get good chip damage on troops that don't target air that are coming to you, and you do not want to let them hit on tower. I mean, they can't really hit because they're one shot. But Bat's rage is actually crazy. They go so fast. So I'll be putting them in A. No, actually top of B. That sounds good. Battle Healer E. I just don't feel comfortable using the Battle Healer. I'd rather use Goblin Drill than it. I just don't know why I'd ever use a Battle Healer. It's not a good card. The healing mechanic's okay. It's in meta because of the Elixir Golem, but I still do not like it. Battle Ram's interesting because it's in bitch spam and it's decent in some decks. It can counter Inferno Tower, I believe, with the Rush, but it's not like an S tier card. I just think that the fact that it spawns 2 Barbarians after is really cool. I'll put it in B. That sounds good. I'll be adjusting this. Next is the Bomber. The Bomber is decent. I think the fact that it's unlockable or log resistant makes it really good. And you can use it in a lot of different scenarios. Like, you can even counter Witch with it. You can't even really expect much for 2 Elixir, but it does counter Skarmy. And it's a really good card in my opinion. I'd put it back of A. Bomb Tower, on the other hand, it's just an average building. It does a lot of damage to fast wind conditions, very fast wind conditions like Hog Rider and Royal Hogs. It does good area damage. And I like the bomb that it has when it dies, so I'll put it top of C. Boulder's decent. I'd put it B. I put it right here. And I'll explain. So it can knock back cards like Ram Rider and Hog Rider, which you could counter. But when it's up against like Mega Knight, it can't even knock back because it can't even knock back tanks, which honestly sucks. Cannon Cart. I used to hate Cannon Cart, but then I realized how good it is. I mean, the fact that it turns from a troop into a building is really cool. And it's like an Archer Queen, but then without the ability for 5 Elixir still. I'd put it in the B tier. I'd rather have it than Bowler. I'd rather have an Expo. I'd put it right here. Cannon Cart's decent. It's just kind of reliable. Cannon's an A. I think Cannon's really good part of Hawk 2.6. It's just a center building. You put it in the center of the arena. Center of your side of the arena. You could counter Hog Rider. If you put it back and you have a Musketeer or Skeletons, it can get a lot of good damage in. I love the cannon. I'll put it middle of Navy Dragon Royal Delivery. Dark Goblin's also an amazing card that can get really good chip damage. And the fact that it targets air is really nice. Level 14 Dark Goblin's crazy. Can get so much damage. And you do not want to let it connect on your tower, because it will get a lot of damage on the tower. Even though it does have low hit points. And it is not log resistant, but it's still an amazing card. Clone's average card, because it's kind of a meme card. No, you never actually see Clone in an actual game. But it could be good in some situations with like Balloon or Giant Skeleton. So put it head of a Barbarian Barrel. Dark Prince is honestly, I think, I don't know why, I just think it's a little overrated. Kind of like a Valkyrie, but my deck actually counters Dark Princess. I like Valkyrie would counter Dark Prince and Mini P.E.K.K.A counters Dark Prince. I just don't understand the hype behind a Dark Prince. It's definitely above some of these cards because it does splash damage. And the shield is good. So, here. That's good. Earthquake. Earthquake's interesting because it sucks against troops, but the main point of it is to do really well against buildings. And a building destroyer is really good, like Goblin Hut or Elixir Maker, or Elixir Creator, I think. Elixir Collector. So I'll put it B right here. I actually like Earthquake. This one's gonna be the last card of our video, Electro Dragon. It's in meta, and it has decent hit points, I feel like. And I like the stun effect. It does counter Sparky. It does counter Inferno Dragon. But nonetheless, it is 5 elixir, and it's kind of a weird card to use. I don't know why. It's still a decent card. I would put it in the good tier, but I'd put it around here, only here. I'd literally put Electro Dragon there. It's just like, it feels a little awkward to use. And the stun is really easy to get counter activation with, just like the Electro Spirit. So yeah, I'll come back with you guys with a part 3. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See ya. Bye.